I came out in high school. Well, I accidentally outed myself.
You accidentally outed yourself?
Yes.
Oh no, that sounds traumatizing.
Do you want to hear this story?
I do.
It's rough.
If you want to share it, yeah.
Oh yeah, people always get a kick out of this one. So I come from a Puerto Rican Catholic military family. My father is military.
Ooh.
And Puerto Rican, very, machismo.
That's
as we were speaking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Terrifying man. Terrifying. The most loving man. Life of the party for everybody else, but in his house, terrifying. I was not allowed to show emotion growing up.
Oh, fuck.
I could not cry.
Oh, my God.
I could not be sensitive. As a gay kid at the time, that's very difficult. Like, very difficult.
Okay.
And and growing up, I would always hear how my father, other people in my family would react to gay people, lesbians, trans people. The things they would say, how they would look at them, the derogatory terms that would come out of their mouth. So as a kid, your parents are your superheroes. And the last thing you want to do is disappoint your superheroes. So when you start seeing how they're reacting to other people that you connect with in a way that you don't even understand, you just start repressing any feeling connected to that, any feeling of who you really are. You just start storing it away because you don't want to disappoint your superheroes. And I did that for many, many years. And then when I got in high school, in high school, you start rebelling a little. You want to be you want to be an individual. And that's when my attraction towards men grew. And my first boyfriend ever, Armando Hernandez, of course, it's an Armando, at the time, asked me out Easter weekend on AOL Instant Messenger.
Hell yeah, millennial girl.
Exactly. And that I remember that I was in my AP Chem class and I'm
AP.
She's smart.
Yeah.
She's not just an actor and a pretty face.
Okay.
I was in my AP Chem class and I'm texting my best friend at the time. And at the time, I think I had what were those called? Sidekicks?
Yeah.
So there's no read receipts. There's none of that.
Okay.
And I sent him this super long message, like an essay long message.
Oh no, girl.
About how excited I was to go out with Armando, how I couldn't wait to kiss him.
Oh shit. Oh no, I know where this is going. Oh no.
I want to say this is the end of my sophomore year in high school. And my dad picks me up from school because I couldn't drive yet. And he hands me his phone and it's the message because I didn't realize the entire day that I accidentally text my dad instead of my best friend.
Okay.
And I saw that message and my heart just dropped. I've never felt that feeling again in my life because it was truly terrifying.
Okay.
And as you would expect from a then very close-minded homophobic father, it was literally the next World War in my house.
You were in the car with him?
Yeah. And the whole car ride, he kept saying, I could never accept this. This is going to make your mother choose you over me, and that's going to lead to our divorce. Mm-hmm. Don't know how that came into play, but it did. And he just kept going on and on about how he didn't raise me that way, and we're not going to cry.
If you want to, we have Kleenexes.
Great. Sorry, I haven't told that story in a while. But I get home and my mom starts crying. For her, it was more just the motherly fear. I don't want anything bad to happen to you.
Oh, okay.
That sort of thing. But
Okay.
also not understanding.
Sure.
And I had to go to a Christian camp.
Oh, fuck.
To be converted. Mm-hmm. So did that.
In Florida?
In Florida. Where they kept singling me out every single day. And I would just be berated and just have the Bible ingrained into my brain. And I would have to tell them that I was straight. And I would literally just sit there and be like, girl,
The irony is that you technically are
that's the joke I always make. I'm like, so you understand it worked because I'm a straight woman now. So
oh my God.
It worked. Anyway, long story short, come back home. I get kicked out, move in with my brother who's super supportive, but also just doesn't understand. Graduate high school. The day I graduate high school, I haul out of Florida, move to New York to be on my own. New York didn't work out because I like warm weather. Sorry.
Yeah, it's real cold there.
It's too cold for me.
Like for most of the year, actually.
Moved to LA. LA is where I start learning that trans people exist. And I hadn't met anyone. I just saw trans women in passing or would like know someone who knew someone. And it just started clicking. And even though it started clicking and I finally got to the point of understanding that that's what I was, I did not accept it. Because in my mind, I told myself, coming out as gay was literally the next World War in my house. If I come out as trans, I will literally lose everything.
So what was your relationship with your family once you came out? They were on talking terms, but they didn't approve kind of thing? Or?
When I came out as trans?
When you technically came out as gay, that first wave.
Oh, yeah. No. I mean, my mother and I would talk even when I moved back in to the house to finish high school. Mm-hmm. My father and I would just pass each other in the hallway, like not say a word. Mm-hmm. And he was always just very awkward around me. Mm-hmm. It wasn't until I flew them to Puerto Rico for Thanksgiving one year. I think I was 21. That was the first time that my dad pulled me aside and apologized and said, I'm an idiot and I love you and I'm so sorry. And if anybody fucks with you, I have your back.
Okay.
Don't know where that came from.
Where the fuck?
Actually, I do know where that came from. It came from the fact that I went out and started to build a life on my own. And I did something that my parents weren't able to do, which was to live their dreams. You know, I love my parents to death. Mm-hmm. But again, they're very humble Puerto Rican family. They don't have a lot. Mm-hmm. And I know my dad's history and circumstances with his family mm-hmm. as to how he grew up and how he considered himself like the black sheep of his family.
Why was he considered the black sheep?
He considered himself that because he was the youngest of 8. All of his siblings went to university and have these amazing careers. And amazing lives and houses and all these things. And when I got to him, there was no money to send him. So he was forced to do the military thing, which he did for years.
So his like bodily agency was taken from him too?
Yes.
Okay.
And he's held on to that for so long.
A lot of trauma there.
A lot of trauma, which we're still working on with him.
Okay.
But the important thing is that we're working on it.
Yeah.
Which is because it's very hard for men. It's so hard for men, mm-hmm. but especially men. Mm-hmm. Sorry, Latin brothers, but it's true. So yeah.
And Italian men.
And Italian
my
men. My
brother and my father, oh my God.
Men in general.
Yeah.
Men in general.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a relationship or start to have a relationship with them until I was about 21, which is when they started coming around. So you can imagine, fast forward when I'm in LA and realize that I'm trans.
Okay. Debating
if I should do what's right for me and risk my entire family, my livelihood. You have to understand at that time, there was not much, if any, trans representation in media. Mm-hmm. We didn't have Laverne. We didn't have Pose. We didn't have any of that. Mm-hmm. We had...
There was like drag queens.
We had drag queens.
It was like RuPaul.
Well, we had men impersonating women.
Yes.
We had men in wigs. We did not have trans women. And if we had trans women, because there were true trans icons like Candace Kane, who broke ground with like Nip Tuck and really changed the game for us. Even though we had that, the roles we were seeing that these trans women were only being able to portray were a corpse on Law & Order SVU, a rape victim, a junkie, Jerry Springer. There was no positive stories of trans women.
Thanks so much for checking out this clip for the Vulnerable Podcast. For the full episode, go ahead and check out my YouTube channel. That link is in the description. Thanks again.